You're going to see a great show tonight.
You're telling me this is going to be the third time I've seen it.
I wouldn't miss this for anything.
Hello again, my friends. Thanks for joining me for another video. And if this is your first time here, a very warm welcome. I'm Lucy, your narrator. Before we get started, please kindly take a moment right now and click the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of every time I upload a new video. And also please watch this video to the end to see the preview trailer and some behind the scenes photos. And also please check out my other videos in my playlist right here on my channel. And now I'd like to take a quick moment to give a shout out and to say thank you again to everyone that has donated to my channel. I really appreciate it. And if you're also someone that enjoys my work and would like to show your appreciation by helping support my channel in the form of a donation, please kindly consider any amount on my Patreon page or my PayPal account. You'll find the links down below. Your generosity will help me to continue bringing you more videos similar to this one. Thanks in advance. And if you haven't seen this movie, please know there will be some spoilers in this video. And before we start our movie, let's just quickly try to get to know our community here a little bit better. I'll start by letting you know that it's a cold and rainy day here in Florida, but that's okay because cold and rainy days are a great excuse for staying in and watching some of the old-time classics. But then again, if you're anything like me, we don't need an excuse or a special occasion to watch our favorite old-time classics. For me personally, that's just about all I watch anymore since I've stopped watching the news with all the gloom and doom. And now it's late December and we've just got a couple of more weeks left till Christmas. So please comment below and let me know what's it like today in your part of the world. Where are you watching this from? And have you given your Christmas list to Santa yet? And now for our feature presentation. Now, Voyager is a drama and romance movie. And as I continue to bring you my series on Bette Davis, if you're a fan of hers like I am, I have more videos with her in it right here on my channel. And please stay tuned because I'll be bringing you some more soon. I create new videos weekly. This movie was released in the USA in 1942 and it stars Miss Bette Davis. And some of her co-stars were Paul Henreid, Claude Rains, and others. It was directed by Irving Rapper and it won 1 Oscar. The movie is about a frumpy spinster blossoms under therapy and becomes an elegant and independent woman. And now for some behind the scenes trivia and tidbits. Now, Voyager was actually the 3rd book in a 5-part saga of The Veils, a high-class Boston family written by Olive Higgins Prouty over a 12-year period from 1936 to 1947. When Warner Brothers bought the film rights to the novel, Prouty wrote a lengthy letter to her literary agent setting out how she felt the production should be mounted. She felt strongly that the best way to dramatize the flashbacks would be to feature short, silent segments woven into the main sound narrative. Her letter made its way to producer Hal B. Wallace at Warner's, who subsequently ignored her suggestions. Prouty wrote the next level in the series' home port with an eye to it being filmed, and while a script exists, it was never produced. And Edmund Goulding was first attached to the project as director. He wanted Irene Dunne to play Charlotte Vale. When Goulding fell ill, however, the project passed to Michael Cortez, who had either Norma Shearer or Ginger Rogers in mind for the lead. In the meantime, Bette Davis was lobbying hard for the part. She was able to convince producer Hal Wallace that she would make a perfect Charlotte Vale, but she refused to work with Cortez. Consequently, Irving Rapper landed the director's job. And the love theme from this film was later used as a background music in the seduction scene from Mildred Pierce in 1945. And the sparkly brooch Ilka Chase wears in the family scene is the same one worn by Ingrid Bergman on her white suit when she first enters Rick's in Casablanca. Joan Crawford wears the same brooch in Mildred Pierce when she asks Monty to marry her. The patio chairs in the now Voyager real lunch scene at the same ones are used in Casablanca's outside of Rick's and auctioned in Bonham's New York studios, reused props, costumes set for several movies. And the film is remembered for the scene in which Paul Henreid places 2 cigarettes in his mouth, lights them, and then passes one to Bette Davis. This was not an original idea. A similar exchange occurred 10 years earlier between Ruth Chatterton and George Brent in The Rich Are Always With Us in 1932, which happens to have Bette Davis in it. Director Rapper subsequently called Henreid a liar for claiming he thought of it, and the director pointed out it had been done in a D.W. Griffith film in 1917. And although both Bette Davis and Paul Henreid would at various times claim the 2-cigarette idea, a similar scene had appeared 10 years earlier between Davis and George Brent in the movie The Rich Are Always With Us in 1932. And Paul Henreid's act of lighting the 2 cigarettes at once caught the public's imagination, and he couldn't go anywhere without being accosted by women begging him to light cigarettes for them. And Broonwoods / UCLA Lake Arrowhead Conference Center in Lake Arrowhead, California, is used as a location in the film as a convalescence hospital. And to play Charlotte before her transformation, Bette Davis asked costume designer Ori Kelly to pad her figure to suggest extra weight. Then she had makeup artist Perk Westmore give her thicker eyebrows. Her look in the film was a compromise. Originally, she had wanted a more extreme look, but Hal Wallace considered it too grotesque. And for the first scene after Charlotte's metamorphosis, Hal Wallace asked Ori Kelly to put her in a wide-brimmed hat so the audience would not get a full look at her new face until later. He also wanted to maintain a sense of her shyness. Jack Warner objected to the choice, but Wallace ignored him. And within 3 weeks, the film was 6.5 days behind schedule. Among the problems were weather delays during location shooting at Laguna Beach, Bette Davis's illnesses, and Gladys Cooper's problems remembering her lines. She was putting in long nights at the USO, helping with the war effort. In addition, Davis worked very slowly, insisting on time to analyze every scene as it was shot. And Bette Davis had walked out of Warner Brothers before the making of this movie and refused to play Charlotte Vale. According to Ginger Rogers, she had been given the script to read as a replacement of Davis and was desperate to play Charlotte. Davis got wind of this and came back to the studio, playing the character that was originally intended for her. Rogers said that she would have given anything to play Charlotte Vale, even if I did let Jack Warner beat me at tennis. And on-set observers reported that Bette Davis often seemed to be directing the film for Irving Rapper. Unlike others she had worked with, his approach to her was much more conciliatory. Rather than order her to play a scene a certain way, he would ask her to try his ideas to see if they would work for her. And during filming, Bette Davis and 12-year-old child star Janice Wilson went canoeing on Lake Arrowhead when their canoe overturned in deep water, approximately 40 feet from shore. The child's mother, Mrs. Myrtle Wilson, watched from the bank as Bette Davis assisted the girl safely to shore. Mrs. Wilson was said to have spanked Janice and kissed Bette Davis. And this was Bette Davis and Claude Rains' second film together. They would co-star again on Mr. Skeffington in 1944 and Deception in 1946. In her 1987 memoir, This and That, Davis revealed that Rains was her favorite actor and colleague. And this was the biggest box office hit of Bette Davis's career.
I didn't want to be born. You didn't want me. Walked right in with my eyes wide open. I'm immune to happiness.
You weren't immune that night on the mountain.
You call that happiness?
My darling, you are crying.
These are only tears of gratitude.
Don't talk like that.
You see, no one ever called me darling before.
Worse than Lisa led me to suppose. Much worse. I can only hope that a shameful episode of your life is completely past. Come out at once. Go to your cabin.
I don't care. I'm glad.
I can't work in the dark when there's a child in the picture.
I'll tell you everything.
Ran around with my own little crowd, the usual laughs, not often but loud, and in the world that I knew, I didn't know about you. Chasing after the rain on the merry-go-round, just taking my fun where it could be found. And yet what else could I do? I didn't know about you. Darling, now I know I had the loneliest yesterday. Every day in your arms, I know for once in my life I'm living, had a good time. Every time I went out, romance was a thing I kidded about. How could I know about love? I didn't know about you.
clothes. All them nice clothes like they're wearing. And I'll sit in them big hotels and they'll take pictures of me. When they have them openings, I'll go and talk on the radio and it won't cost me nothing because I'm in the picture. All them nice clothes like they wear. Because this guy says I'm a natural.
If you like that one, we've got a lot more. Hotter than your morning coffee.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back to see the next one. I'll be here waiting for you. If you enjoyed this, please kindly give me a like, share with others, comment below, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget you need to click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of every time I upload a new one. So thank you so very much for stopping by again and sharing this moment with me and this time that always passes by so quickly. I can't wait to do the next one for you. So until we meet again, please be safe and be blessed.